Hola, 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 todos. Hello, hello, hello all. Welcome back to Learning Language, Cognados Falsos. False cognates. What is a cognate? A word that looks the same or sounds the same between two languages but are different. False. Cognados falsos, es falsos. Again, bringing a lot of the ideas I've proven in my other lecture series. Context defines a variable. If you're a native speaker and you really want even a good exercise along with translations, is if you're whatever your native language is, every single thought you have throughout the day, when you clearly want to say something, take those thoughts, translate it word for word into whatever language you're learning. Because that's how any language has ever generated, literally ever. And once you get in that mindset of, again, you see your physical response, you stub your toe, you scream out shit, or you're hungry, you say, I want food, quiero comida, once you start translating word for word, you'll see how language generates. Again, I referenced it before, but I said, language, when you're learning your first, second language, it can feel like, it feels like overwhelming. But go through your whole day in whatever your native language is, literally sit down and translate whatever your thoughts are into another language word for word. And if you do that a couple times, I guarantee you whatever overwhelming feelings you have about learning a language will literally go away. But cognados falsos, context defines a variable. And the use cases of different words make teachers, right? These people who write these things are, again, scholars, I'm sure, right? They're native to, a Spanish-speaking country, and then they go to school, and then they're a professor here, a professor there. So they're good with English, they're good with other languages, or they're good with at least two. But it's probably just easier just to start showing the examples, but A is A, right? A word is a word. The logical meaning, the experience is where the linguistics is generated from. And you get a lot of just funky translations and study tips. Like, if you bought this sheet, you would say, how the fuck would I remember all of this? And you won't. You won't remember all of these. You won't learn these. Most of them are wrong. And again, the context, when you have enough base words and you can just start translating, the context makes it so clear about all of these things. Right, like I said, Spanish 1, 2, 3, 5, advanced vocabulary is just nonsense. What happens is, again, English uses more unique prepositions, and people default to that, but it sounds slang, right? Like it said, if I was a little kid and I was outside and I was doing something stupid and my parents wanted me to come inside, they would just say, Brad, in now, but not actually, because my parents didn't actually yell at me a lot. But when you're with two native speakers, you don't use a bunch of extraneous words, right? You don't, right? Como está versus como estás. Same amount of words, but formality versus informality. Two native speakers that are on a decent respect level are going to be informal and limit the amount of words or syllables they use literally every single time, right? Like if I was out, again, if I was just actual random example, if I was outside, my parents would say, Dear Bradley, we really need you to get inside now for dinner. Just, Brad, dinner. And you fill in all the other fucking words. So what happens is for these cognados falsos, is people are translating context incorrectly. The words are their words. So I'm just going to take you through some of those and just tell you my thoughts and translations. Again, what I've done is all of the words up here are translate the cognates on this sheet, and I've taken all of them and translated the Spanish into English, and then the English into Spanish, all of the words from the dictionary, and we'll see how consistent they are. And I'm not going to do all of these because, again, this is not, my point to you is you don't need to memorize this, you shouldn't memorize this, and frankly this is incorrect. Just reading off here, it says the following words are often mistaken because they appear to be cognates but are not. Again, let's define cognate as a word that structurally, linguistically, uses the same letters or sounds about the same, but are not. For example, actual in Spanish means current. The real Spanish word for the English actual is efecto or verdadero. All Spanish words in the table are in bold. So again, I just looked up actual from the Spanish to the English. It does say, and I'll read you their definitions and then I'll read you mine. Actual for the Spanish, it says on the sheet, it says current and present. In the dictionary, it says the same thing. Actual English to Spanish says efectivo and verdadero. Now, if I go translate the English on here of current and present, for current, I get corriente and presente. Right? Those are clearly correct cognates. Corriente, current, and presente, present. And so, why do people think these? Clearly, literally, it's the same word, like the same letters. But again, the context in which someone would use this naturally and genuinely would be overwhelmingly apparent. Next, and then for effective, for the effectivo, again, sorry, my formatting's all over the place. I'm just getting used to these videos. But for effectivo, it says effective and it says actual. But then for verdadero, it says true and real. So it doesn't even say actual on the reverse translation. And so, like a one-to-one translation, for example, I'll get to them, but there's some where you look up all the Spanish words to English and it says all the same ones that if you look up in English, they go to Spanish. That's a correct definition. It has to have that slang association of words. 2, aplicar versus apply. All right, and on here, to be specific, it says to apply for a job. And again, anytime I see an infinitive verb, I read it, the first infinitive verb as an ing ending, and sometimes I include the prepositions like I have to go, yo tengo ir, and people would say yo tengo que ir, I have to go, right? But if I said yo tengo ir, you might, yo tengo que ir is typically what you'd see on a piece of paper, but I have that going, and that's an extra word, yo tengo ir. Conjugated verb, infinitive verb, people are going to translate it word for word correctly. Aplicar, they have, for aplicar, they have to apply and to attach. Now, from English, to apply, what they have, it has aplicar. And then to apply, from the English to the Spanish on the sheet, it says solicitar. But solicitar, and if I look up the English to the Spanish, it will say apply to solicitar. But if I look up Spanish to English, solicitar says to request, and it's clearly soliciting. To request, I think there's another dictionary definition, but word for word, clearly soliciting. So again, you don't see the consistency of the definitions, Spanish to English, English to Spanish. Again, I'm not going to go through all these, it's all the same explanation. There are some interesting things. Apologia, they have as a eulogy, and apology, disculpa, excusa. Like the apologia, in the dictionary, Spanish to English, it says apology, right? The context would typically be apologia in the context of a death, right? So that's, again, with context defining the variable. English to Spanish, it says apology, disculpa me, you excuse me, apologia. Right, excuse, right, that's an excuse, dictionary definition that goes to excuse, disculpe, disculpar, I think it's disculpar, but disculpe me, you excuse me, that's what you say for excuse as a verb. Assistir versus assist. They have asistir is to attend, and they have to assist is ayudar. Right, ayudar is clearly helping. Like that's the use case for ayudar. All the conjugation is to help. So to attend, looking up directly into the dictionary, it says to attend, ayudar. It has ayudar in parentheses, and then to help, to assist. English to Spanish, if I type in assist, it says ayudar. And so there, again, I would just be more clear. If I was a native Spanish, nativo español, I would be clear with my use of ayudar as opposed to saying asistir and assist are false cognates. But because it also says assistir as well. So, and then it says attend is where it gets interesting, English to Spanish, it says asistir a, right? But if we translate that as you guys say, to do something, to assist to, no, attending to. I'm attending to you. Assistir a, attending to. And then it also had another verb that I can't even pronounce my own spelling. I think it's asudir. But right, attendance is presence in English. To attend, to tend to, would be to assist in the way the Spanish translations have had. Like, if I'm tending to an ailing person, if I'm attending, and so you literally see them asistir a, flip up the to attend, versus attend, both English, attend in presence, to tend, to be assisting to. Let me make sure I'm still rolling. And when I was writing these down, I skipped over attendre, but that was in the dictionary. What was that one? I said that's more like tending with an English tending, to tend would be more to attend, ainder, attender would be closer to attender. Now this is an interesting one. They have bachiller versus bachelor. Bachiller, linguistically, the letters, phonetically, the sound. As a native English speaker with a bunch of data points, that does not strike me as bachelor at all. So I would not even call this one cognates in the way you've defined it. But bachiller, secondary school graduate, to me that's like it's another kind of like a verb or a word like quinceañera or quinceañera, whatever the 16th birthday party word is. Just a cultural word for an event. But this does not even strike me as a cognate at all. I thought that was funny. But bachelor, soltero, and soltero in the dictionary just means Spanish to English, single or unmarried. You could say soltera to a woman as well. And then I just looked at graduate, graduado. So bachiller, that to me that just strikes me as like a culturally word like quinceañera or whatever the fucking happy 16th birthday is. Click gay, I'm always very politically correct. Not. 6, this is an interesting one. Carbon, or Spanish versus carbon, English. Right? Coal, carbon on here, they have coal and carbon. They have carbono. All those English speakers out there, here's a homework assignment. Give me a rigorous differentiation between carbon and coal. But again, just to clear again, they are the same. That differentiation would become from technology, right? Someone in Mexico, or Spain, España, fucking literally shoveling. They're at a workplace. They say throw in the carbon. They're not talking about the carbon over there. There's a big pile of coal right there. So it's just, again, interesting example. But the definitions were 1-to-1 on this one. Spanish, carbon, translates to coal dictionary. Carbono translates to carbon. Coal in English to Spanish, carbon. Carbon to carbono. Or carbon to carbono. And so again, just clear use case of context defining a variable but with 1-to-1 translations. Like I said, I would say that by your definition of cognate or cognado, I would say that's close. But again, at no point would the context ever get that confused. Cargo, or I did cargo, I didn't write it down, but cargo versus carga. Interesting to me because it's just clear, again, gendering, o versus a. They have duty and responsibility for cargo, but in the dictionary it says position or charge. And in carga it says load or freight. Right? If you just said no context cargo, I'm going to be thinking the words load or freight. And then cargo, both. Right, they have cargo goes to carga in Spanish, but when I look up English to Spanish in the dictionary, I get cargomento. And that affects the form of the word. But the dictionary definition of cargo is not duty or responsibility, it's position or charge, mainly position. Don't like using duty or responsibility there. What's the next one? Carpeta or campo? I missed campo. I do have cargo. But campo versus camp. Did I even write that one down? No, I don't think I did. Country field. I think I just agreed with the dictionary definitions on that one. Or I just didn't write that one down. I wanted to show you the cargo carga for the change of gender. Carpeta versus carpet. Carpeta, Spanish to English. It says on here, folder or file. In the dictionary, it says folder or portfolio. Again, that would just be a clear use case of we're talking something on business, millones. And then carpet, it has alfombra. Alfombra, Spanish to English in the dictionary, went back to carpet directly. English to Spanish, carpet went to alfombra. Folder went to carpeta. And file went to archivo, or archive, to archive. Check the archives. And then last one, chocar versus to choke. Chocar. I can see why you think this is a cognate, but I just have not cognate question mark, because chocar means to bump or to collide. And on here they have to crash or to shock. So again, not... do you guys use the dictionaries? You guys look up shit before you type this stuff? But chocar does not have crash or shock in the dictionary at all. It's to bump or to collide. And then to choke, they have asphyxiarse, to asphyxiate, literally. But asphyxiarse is not in the dictionary. Again, se, clearly reflexive. One direct pronoun thing at the end. Asphyxiar was in the dictionary, but that means to asphyxiate, closest to suffocate. And it says to suffocate in the dictionary, to smother. And then English to Spanish, it says crash is estrellarse. Yarse, re yarse, estrellarse. Shock, choke, and choke, ahogarse. And in the dictionary, they also had ahogar, say, with literally the say in parentheses. So again, when you look up dictionary definitions and it has like reflexive verbs as like the first example, it's clearly just the context, man. So again, all different types of things. This is why you don't have to memorize this shit. Translate word for word, default to the clearest semantic English word, and then if you really want to get super specific about use cases, look up things in the dictionary. But I said for the last one, the chocar, right? I can see like kind of chocar, but to me that would not chocar at the end really throws that away. I would not think choking. But yes, crash and shock is not in the dictionary. But just personally, right, that sounds clearly getting differentiated here from English to Spanish. But I wouldn't say that's a cognate at all. But again, this is why you don't memorize these things. This is why you translate word for word, and this is why you associate sounds to letters. And again, go through your day, whatever normal thoughts you have. Word for word, whatever your native language is, they pop in your head. Take those words and translate it to whatever language you're learning. And I can guarantee you, just like all of the other animals out there, they don't say anything more complicated or confusing or idiomatic than you do. Guarantee that. So thank you for watching Learning Language Cognados Falsos. And one more thing, like I said, the presence of this existing here, like I said, these are native speakers with education saying this is what these things mean, and they literally don't. So this is why, again, you have people that say, oh, I took Spanish in high school, or I'm even a native speaker and I'm not fluent anymore. Once you associate the sounds to the physical modes of vibration of your vocal cords and to actions into context, you can't forget them. Right? You might, like I said, I've never spoken Spanish regularly, but you can't forget them, and once you get what's going on, you wouldn't lose fluency. So The evidence of this being all completely wrong is how many people take fucking Spanish or whatever language, and then 4 years later they have no fucking clue about anything. So, there you have it. Cognados Falsos, Ace Falsos. Thanks for watching.